Let me just send the email. Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
I'm just checking whether the YouTube is working fine or not. Okay, I think we can get started. In the meantime, I have sent messages to the groups. Let them join. Whoever wants to join, let them join. They can always replay this in Clubhouse and in YouTube. Today's session. Uh, today's session is purely for the job seekers. It's just trying to help out the job seekers, and we don't wanted to do that in the LinkedIn because it will affect. Sorry, we'll be giving a lot of tips and tricks, right? So we don't want to give it in a broader audience. So whoever wants, they would join this clubhouse or they will watch it in YouTube, and this will actually help out the job seekers. So before we getting started, just a couple of things. One is the introduction of the Canada IT Club. So Canada IT Club is a community for the IT professionals in Canada. We are still growing. This is just to build your professional network in Canada and also to share the information. We have regular meetup sessions, mostly weekly, uh, and we have experts from different areas coming in and sharing their thoughts and ideas on their areas of expertise. So tomorrow we have a session on the P-inch licensing. So in case any of your friends or anyone who is looking out for different stream other than IT and they want to get a PN certification, please feel free to join the session. It will be live in LinkedIn. Myself Sudhir, and I work as a agile consultant in TD Bank. I'm not a recruiter actually. I work as an agile consultant, and I have done some research in the Canada IT market back in 2019. And from that day onwards, I have started writing blogs and a lot of articles and started these meetup sessions to boost the job search of the job seekers and to help the job seekers get the job. And I have almost helped almost 200 folks get their job. 90% of them, it's like their first job in Canada. But yes, I had developed like few best practices on how to boost your job search and get hired in 2 months. That's the program. Get hired in 2 months, and I have been promoting that to everyone to help them get the job. And these kinds of sessions we conduct so that the job seekers can learn from the experts in the Canada, and they can actually use that expertise to boost their job search. Okay, and I'll hand it out to Sajid. Sajid, a quick intro.
Been in the tech recruitment space for nearly now 17 years. I was in Bangalore for quite some time now, crossed 5 years in Toronto. I have worked for US, Canada, Europe, and India markets. So basically, I know the job search strategies, or how or what candidates make mistakes in these specific markets. So, but Canada and India are where I'm very strong in, and we'll discuss some of the common mistakes that people make, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes, or you don't have to pay for your resume or any strategies, right? So just two things that you need: a solid resume. Three things I would say: solid resume, your LinkedIn profile, and networking. Those are the only three things that you need. But how you go about in the search, we'll discuss in a QA session, and we'll go on with that. Thank you, Sudhi.
Thanks, Ajit. And today's it's mostly like a Q&A session. So in case you guys are interested in asking questions, either you can ask the questions in YouTube, or you can raise your hand, become a speaker, and ask the questions in this forum. Feel free to do it. And again, it's not a LinkedIn, so I'm trying to reduce the audience from the LinkedIn, so that this is a safe space and you can ask the questions related to your career or job search. Okay, and of course you can play back that in YouTube, and it will help you in understanding or boosting your job search. So feel free to ask any questions so we can get started. So before we get started, anyone has any questions, anything? Anyone wants to speak, you can raise your hand.
I'll just give everybody so this Sunday, I reviewed 14 profiles, and I spoke to, I think, 9 or 10 people on Sunday. So I just common mistakes that people should avoid in the resume is something that I'll quickly go through, Sudhi.
Please,
Yeah,
yes.
no need of objective. Yeah, objectives is not required in your resume. No photographs, no complete address. Only the town that you're staying, and then on which province it is there. Do attach your LinkedIn link, definitely. No other personal information required, right? That is the first thing. Objective not required. And the first thing after that, if you're not a new graduate, has to be your experience. It cannot be your IT skills. Those are just because to have when they're searching for your resume, the resume to pop up in that, let's say, 20-30 percentage of what the recruiters see. So your IT skills all have to be below. The first and topmost should be your experience. In that experience, preferably if you remove, so to eliminate bias, it's always good. Let's say you don't want to add the exact full location. That is fine. You just, if it is IBM or any company, that is just mention the company name and from which year to which year they are there, right? And when in the content of the role, don't list what you have done, in the sense what is your day-to-day task, but instead list your achievements. What are the problem statements that you have solved? What are the projects that you have worked on? Because see, the hiring manager sees, forget the hiring manager, the recruiter also sees so many resumes, right? How do you make your resume, in the sense, let's say there's a job description, and the role is for a project manager. Everybody will put the same kind: I did this, I did this, I did this, right? The sentences would be the same. So instead of that, highlight as to, okay, in this particular project, you can mention sector, technology, domain. This was what I was doing. How did it help the business save money, reduce cost, get more orders, increase sales, or whatever it is that you have done which has had an impact in the business, is what the hiring manager is looking at, right? In Canada, 50 percentage of weightage is given to your the hard skills, and 50 percentage weightage is given to your soft skills. So have this showcased by your resume itself, in terms of what, when you say you're good in communication, it has to be communicated in your resume itself, right? So those are just couple of things. We'll go as we take questions. You will get to know most of the things that are there.
Thank you, Sajid. I just wanted to add something to that resume thing. Is that a lot of people they are actually missing the title of the resume. So, for example, the name and the title or the job role which you are looking for. So, yesterday I reviewed a resume which says that I am a good business analyst with data-driven capabilities or data something. So now I'm confused whether this person is looking for a BA or a data analyst role. So this will actually confuse the hiring manager. So you have to have a specific title to your resume saying that I am looking for data analyst role. If you are looking for a scrum master role, mention scrum master. If you are looking for a project manager role, mention project manager. I understand that everyone, right, every one of us might have multiple skill set in our day-to-day office work, but never mention multiple titles just like QA manager slash QA lead slash scrum master slash project manager. This will actually backfire, and the chances of getting hired is very less. So you had to showcase one as your primary talent. So for example, scrum master with as a project manager experience, scrum master with data analysis experience, or scrum master with QA experience. Never mention scrum master slash QA slash BA slash everything in the resume. That's actually it's not good. It is very tough to get your resume in front of the hiring manager when you are trying to showcase multiple roles. We understand that yes, you might have done multiple roles, but always try to put the same role which for which you are trying to apply. If it's a scrum master, you mention scrum master. If it's agile project manager, you mention agile project manager, because that will also get weightage. Now the thing is, yeah, we will so we resume, yeah, as Sajid said, we will discuss more and more about this resume tips and tricks as we move forward during this session. Now another common mistake what job seekers do is, lot of job seekers, and again I'm not naming anyone, but a lot of job seekers doesn't have valid work authorization to work in Canada. Okay, so somehow they got misunderstood that okay, if I get a job offer letter, then I will be able to process a visa. Lot of people without the work authorization, including the students, they doesn't have the work authorization and they are trying to apply. Now what happens is, this recruiters will see these hundreds of resumes coming in. They'll try to reach out to 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and if this eight all these 8 people say that no, I don't have work authorization, or I will get work authorization later, what happens is the recruiter will get fed up, and that is one of the reasons why recruiters will leave the rest of the resume pack, or will not promote these kinds of resume for going forward. Okay, and after, even after you get the work authorization and you try to apply for that same with the same recruiter, what happens is this person knows that okay, this guy doesn't have a work authorization. So if you don't have a work authorization, you cannot apply for any jobs here unless it is specified that they will process the work authorization. Other than that, there is no use of applying for work authorization, because like we said last day in our WhatsApp group, the first preference is always for the Canadian citizen, second is for the permanent resident, third is for the work permit holder. That's it. Okay. The fourth and the fifth options is kind of the LMIA thing and everything, where which will take a long term. So some companies will procure the LMIA. For further details, you have to watch our previous recordings of our chat with the immigration consultant. He clearly explains what is the LMIA process, how do you apply jobs for LMIA roles. Okay, most of the jobs given by these recruiters which we added in the WhatsApp group, it is mostly the jobs for the people who have work authorization. If you don't have work authorization and you are still trying to apply for hundreds of jobs, not only you are wasting their time, but you are wasting the precious time for the other job seekers who is trying to get into a job with their valid authorization, and their chances are getting reduced because of these wrong, or because of these resumes which is coming from different parts of the world, and people without the work authorization. So Sajid, you want to add something?
Just want to say that the reason for that is, so I asked a hiring manager regarding this, right, in terms of why. when you mentioned about having this multiple titles, right? So I asked a hiring manager. So he told me that when you put these multiple, so here it's mostly T or V, right? With very specialized. If you're in a Scrum Master in a particular domain, banking experience, so it's you have to be very specialized even in your when you're putting up your resume. If you say you're doing Scrum, you're doing project management manager role, and you're doing a BA, then the hiring manager thinks that what are you specialized in? So that is the biggest concern there. We'll take questions and then we'll have the conversation forward. So
Absolutely, yeah. So anyone wants to ask question, please raise your hand. Come to the speaker panel. Please ask the questions. Yeah, Surya I invited. Hey, Subbu. Subbu, you have any questions? You have to unmute to speak. It is not audible.
Hi,
Yeah, yes, Subbu, it's audible now.
this
Okay, let's move on to Karthik. Karthik, you have to unmute to speak. Any questions?
Yeah, hi Sudhir, hi Sajid. Thanks for organizing the session. I attended the previous session also; it was very informative. So, I have a very generic or like specific query. I would say I have shifted careers thrice now. Like I started with software with Cognizant, then I moved into the armed forces for 10 years, and then I went into banking operations and project management with Wells Fargo, and I recently moved to Canada. So I've been looking into the project management space and trying to find some jobs, though it is not. I'm not core IT. Something related to Scrum Master or project management, etc. And I've optimized my CV. I've been trying posting a lot of content or some amount of activity in LinkedIn with posts and other things, but I'm not able to get any calls or response. Like first month, I landed in March. April, I had 3 4 calls, but after that, like the calls have died out. Like I've not received any calls or responses for any of the applications. So, how to go about the situation?
What role you are trying to apply?
I'm looking at project management space
Yeah, project manager and space, but what? As what?
as project manager.
Or Scrum Master?
Yeah.
Which one? Because I have a Scrum Master opportunity. Just now, today morning, one recruiter reached out to me. It's a contract Scrum Master opportunity. So the
Okay.
question is, what are you trying to move in as a project manager or a project coordinator or a Scrum Master? What are you trying to move as?
I'm looking for both, like whichever clicks for me. I'm just trying to find opportunity in that because of my different background that I'm coming from. It's like very hard for me to zero on one right now.
Yeah. So see, I'll just share my thoughts. Okay. So what happens is when you're trying to apply for a Scrum Master role, right? Can you just guess how many applicants are there? Approximate?
200, 250, 300 odd.
No, it's in thousands. So
Okay.
last month when we had the session with Sajid, right, Sajid, it was 1,800, right, for SM role,
yeah,
Scrum Master.
1800.
Yeah. So QA it was 1,400 for GTA and around 2,000 QAs for entire Canada. And for Scrum Master, there were 1,800 eligible candidates. Again, I'm not saying that everyone is eligible. Might be if you are like just have the CSM certifications, if you are trying to get into the Scrum Master role, thinking that they are the Scrum Master, if you are trying to get a job from India or some different country. So there are a lot of applicants, but the problem is when you are trying to apply for a job, these many applicants are there. So to come to the top 10, it is bit difficult, especially with like a lot of people who are looking for experience within the IT domain. Okay, so that's one of the first challenges. It's nothing your fault, but right now, this year, the number of candidates has drastically increased from last 2 years. Last 2 years, we were hunting down, we were running around to get a Scrum Master. There was no candidate, but this year, the number of candidates has drastically increased. Now, the second thing is, since you don't have the IT experience, you have different experience, right? When you are trying to get into as a Scrum Master, I'm just giving an example. You have to have a wonderful skill set as a Scrum Master. Okay,
Okay.
We do some kind of mock-up interviews for scrum masters, and what I have seen is 50 to 70 percentage of the people who thinks they are scrum master, when we do the kind of mock interview, they actually fail in that. We ask the basic question, and they fail because they have no idea what is scrum. They have the CSM certification and they think that they are a scrum master. Now what happens with the scrum master role is that this person is actually helping the team to boost their productivity and to work in a better way to deliver the product fast. So if he doesn't know how to do that, how can he help the team? It is not just the facilitation of the meetings. So what
Yeah.
happens is, we have been training these scrum masters with the real life or behavioral things to make them understand that, okay boss, this is what a scrum master do. Everyone think that scrum master just facilitate the five sprint ceremonies, which is unfortunately 10 percentage of the scrum master's role. Okay, there is a lot of 90 percentage which is hidden, which nobody is aware about. They have to have very good hold on what how to run the agile project. They have to have very good hold on how the team management is done. They have to have a very good communication. They have to know how to say no to the boss or how to protect the team. Nobody knows this. They just know facilitating or sending out the meeting invite for the team, and they think that they are a scrum master. So unfortunately, when we do the screening, we understand that, okay, this person is not the right fit for the job. So most of the time when you're trying to apply for a scrum master or a project owner, product owner role, those are a kind of senior roles in Canada. It's a kind of team management is included. Yesterday there was one person with 5 plus years of experience who is applying for a senior project manager role. Unfortunately, he might be very junior for that. So my recommendation would be to start with the PCO role, maybe. Okay, or
Okay.
maybe kind of BA role or PCO role or project finance coordinator role. There are multiple roles which can uh, which can help the people to get started rather than just jumping for the scrum master or a product owner role. There are technical writer roles, there are project coordinators. I have a list of roles which like a 3 to 5 years of experience person in IT can start with. uh, Especially when you come from a different country like India, uh, you cannot, or it wouldn't be recommended to join as a project manager or a product owner, but there are few other roles which you can get started. Second is, there is a mentor which I can introduce you. Of course it's a paid one, but he will take a screening of you, and he will be able to help you with getting with this scrum master roles. He coaches the scrum masters, and out of the four persons which got placed yesterday, right, I sent a message, three were
Yeah.
scrum masters, all the three were trained by this guy. So this guy
Okay.
trained these three folks in the past 2 months, started in May, and they
Okay.
got placed in June, or May, June, and July. Okay, so what I am saying is, so this guy focuses on helping the Scrum Masters understand what is Scrum and then getting placed. But again, of course, there is a screening process to see whether you know the basics of Agile. But my recommendation is to step down from the Scrum Master and look into some different roles like PCO or BA or a BSA, something like that. Sajid, if you want to add, please feel free to.
Yeah, before Sajid steps in, I also have an issue here because sometimes I feel the number of years of experience that I have might be an issue for me, the recruiters or the hiring manager to consider, because I have around 17 years experience. I don't know if they'll consider me for a lower role. That's why I'm confused here.
That shouldn't be a problem actually. Okay, because I think we may have to take it offline. There are some sensitive parts here which I don't want to discuss in the
Yeah, sure,
public.
sure,
Okay,
sure,
yeah.
sure.
Hope you understand that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Sajid.
sure.
Yeah, Sajid, you want to?
No, Karthik, I think I have your profile with me. I think you shared your profile. Just wanted to understand, are you on work permit or PR?
I'm on PR.
PR. Okay. So, yeah, I think Sudhi's suggestion would be best. Connect with him offline, and then he would be able to guide you more. The challenges you need to just that is what we say on strategy, right? The challenge that people when they come from outside is they try to apply for the same title as what they have been in their home country, right? The challenge is sometimes it doesn't match because here that title might have a larger scope. So you need to know where you have to place yourself, because I'll tell you, you might you might try for a scrum for a year, 8 months to a year, and not get that role, but you can join in as a project coordinator, and within 6 months you can be a project manager or a scrum. So there are nuances as how to get in and then scale up, because there's no limitation once you're in the system, but your first entry job or first job is what is going to be challenging.
True.
Yeah.
It's only the first job which is difficult. To whoever is listening here, it is only the first job which is difficult. Once you get the job, 80% of your problems here in Canada will get resolved. When you are trying to get into the job, right, you will face a lot of challenges when you try to start your life in Canada. 80% of the troubles will get over when you get your first job. The getting the second job is 30 percentage. You have to just put 30 percentage of the effort which you had put initially to get the first job. Second job is pretty much easier than the first job. Okay, don't worry about this, because we every one of us have gone through these initial phases where which is very difficult, hard to survive. Should I go back to my country? Should I stay here in Canada? I don't know. We have issues in family. We have like nobody's there to help. We have been through those phases, and that is one of the reasons why we try to promote professional networking and try to help as much as possible what we could.
And the only thing that you have to do for your second job is continuously network. That's the only thing that you have to do.
Upskill, sir. One more thing. Yeah.
Yeah, upskill also. Subbu, you had a question. Please go ahead if we are
Yeah.
audible now. Subbu can't hear you.
Okay, we can move on to Surya then.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey Surya.
Hi, Sudhi and Sajay. Thank you for this session. My question is regarding the title of the resume. I'm for example, I'm a QA tester. So for QA tester, different company put different name, like QA, quality automation engineer, or test engineer, or QA analyst. So in this case, what should be right? Because role is same, but title is different. So in this case, what should be written in the resume?
Yeah, I can answer that because I have been telling this for a long time. So in TD, it might be a QE engineer, but in CIBC, it might be a test engineer. In RBC, it might be a QA analyst. If you are applying for CIBC, you have to change your profile, or you have to change the title as test coordinator or test analyst, whatever is mentioned in the job description. Okay, while you are trying to apply for QE, TD, you have to mention it as QE, because we are not lying here in the resume. The designation is not written in your resume. Keep a note of this. The designation in Wipro might be software engineer, but you might be a Java developer. You have to write Java developer. It is not the designation which you have to write, it is the role which you played, you have to write in your resume. And LinkedIn, everyone makes the mistake, because the senior engineer, software engineer, senior software engineer, and analyst, or associate, these are generic terms which will reduce the your resume probability to get picked up. So you have to write what your role you have played, even for the past one. Nobody will check your designation when they are doing the background check. They will just check whether you have been working in that company or not. Okay, so if you are applying for TD, you have to write, and if the role is for QE analyst, you have to mention QE analyst. Is that clear, Surya?
Yeah, thank you, Sudhi. Thank you.
No worries, no worries.
And developers, if it is .NET developers, please do mention .NET developers. That will enhance your profile. So it will come in the search in the top. If it is Java developer or Python developer, in your title, what Sudhi said, mention that specifically rather than just say senior software engineer or software engineer. That doesn't make any sense at all. So because then what happens is they'll have to go through your content, and what happens most of the time is your content does not match what the recruiter is looking at. So there's a high chance that your profile will not even reach the recruiter.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
Subbu, last chance for you. Nope.
So otherwise, do one thing: you go out of the room and come back.
Okay, let's move on to Rana. Rana, or you ask the question in the chat, buddy.
Hi Sudhi, hi Sujit. This is Rana Khan.
Yeah.
First of all, let me saying starting with thank you so much for both of you for making such a huge contribution to the community while supporting for employment serve all the advices really appreciate. So I'm a cybersecurity project manager living in Mississauga. I'm Canadian. Uh, my question is, we have often been told that resume is not like biography thing, right? Rather, it should be like a marketing document or selling document where we can show our experience and potential at the highest level. So today, during an interview, the hiring manager made a comment which is very weird, I guess. He said that your resume is very polished and having a selling tone, which is not good, since it's supposed to serve the same purpose, right? So I would like to take your thoughts, Sudhir and Sajid, if you can please comment on that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that is just an individual person's remarks. Don't bother about that. Whatever be your role, right? Mid-level, senior role, security or a developer, whatever, you need to sell yourself better, because otherwise, how will the recruiter see for any of the even security roles? If you put, you will have at least some 200, 300 applications. How do you make yourself visible to the recruiter? Because one, there is an ATS filter in LinkedIn. Also, there's a filter, and there are hardly some of those resumes which the recruiter sees. So I wouldn't take that comment seriously, because that is just someone who might have not I would say updated his resume in a long time. But there are also chances that some people who have not been job hunting don't know as to what the challenges are there in the current scenario, right? So I wouldn't take that advice. I would say if you're getting shortlisted with your current resume, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's what exactly I was about to say. Most important part is you got the interview call. That is what 90% of the people are not getting the interview call. With that resume, you got the interview call, which means the resume is good. That's what
Well,
that.
well, thank you so much. I think this is very encouraging comments from both of you. So even at the end of the interview, you said, okay, your resume is very having a selling tone, and in Canada we don't like selling people, like So I was
Oh
very
no no.
confused.
So see, it's across everywhere, man. Each of the banks, each of the product, Amazon, Apple, everything, right? They market or they make ad to sell, right? It's exactly the same. If you put your kind of like 10 pages resume, is that interviewer going to read? No, I wouldn't take it that seriously. I mean, it happens. So with all these tips and tricks and techniques, right? I have lost more than 15 interviews in Canada. Okay, so it's not like I am the perfect guy or I am the perfect guy for all the team. No, I have lost more interviews than anybody of you have might have attended. I have attended like 20 plus interviews, but I have lost 15. 80 to 90 percentage of the resume I might have failed. It is because of the maybe the rate negotiation didn't work, because I was not able to resolve their solutions. Maybe I am not the perfect fit for that. But it is just one job interview you need to pass, and you will get settled. Okay, so don't worry about that thing, and just go ahead with your resume being polished or whatever it is. You are good.
Well,
If
thank you.
anybody, yeah, if anybody else says it, that it's more sales, you just say, no, I'm just good at marketing myself better. It's not sales, that you're marketing yourself. Just mention that you're good at marketing yourself better. That's it.
Absolutely.
Well,
Now,
thank you so much.
no worries. Subbu has asked a question. Need more guidance on the work permit holders to get into a IT job. Any consultant suggestion? So this has been a question which has been asked by everyone, all the students after getting the PGWP. They have been asking this question, and I'll just give some details. After that, Sajid will answer. The first thing is, we have around 80 plus consulting firms here in Canada. I have counted it. That's the reason why I'm saying around 80 plus. But yes, ups and downs. They some will close off, some new things will come. But around 80 plus consulting firms, out of which around 30 to 50 are really big consulting firms. I have posted this consulting firm details in LinkedIn. Okay, Randstad, IDE, everything I have posted it in LinkedIn. I have tagged their LinkedIn space. You have to watch out for their career. This requirement is not managed by consulting firm. It is by the clients. It is by the end clients who says that we need this guy with a federal clearance. We need this guy who cannot be in the work permit because of the uh, because of the past experiences they might have had. So that is the reason it is a client's requirement which states that we need one guy who is working in Canada or who have been in Canada. Um, they will not mention work permit, because what happens is, lot of time, once this guy gets into the work, he starts the work, then he gets into some visa trouble, and the company may have to lay him off, or he'll have to leave the company, and this will affect the client. So when few times this happens, the client will say that we don't want anyone who doesn't have work permit for 2 years, or who doesn't have work permit for 1 year. It is not the consulting firm who decides it. Do not get angry on them. It is the end users or the end client's requirement, which says that okay, whether they have to hire this work permit holders, or whether they need to hire the PR or citizen. Second thing, you will get the list of all the recruiting firms in my LinkedIn post. You can check it. It is not like these recruiting firms will hire only these work permit holders. No, all these recruitment people are hiring for resources left and right, and they will take a decision on individual basis, not as a group discussion. Not as a big decision which will kick these people out. But yes, based on the client's requirement, they will make the decision. Suggest if you want to add, please.
You very clearly mentioned, Sudhi, in the first as to how they recruit. So, if there are 10 applicants, and of the 10 applicants, there are Canadian citizens, that will be the first preference. Then will be the PR, and then the work permit. So, it is only the matter of demand and supply. Let's say this is a very hot job market like 2022. We are not getting people in PR and citizens to apply for those roles. The companies will be open to look at work permit holders also, right? Now, the market is flooded with people who are looking out, and there are a lot of PR holders and Canadian citizens who are looking, and that is why work permit holders are on the third slot. Otherwise, if there aren't enough people in the first two slots, definitely work permit holders would have got a better chance. It's just the market conditions are different, so you just need to wait until it picks up a little better. In the meanwhile, gain some internship or some experience, even volunteer experience, which you, whatever it be, even if it is not related to your industry, please do add that in your resume. That shows that you're working. Every hiring manager knows that any person who comes as an immigrant does have an issue. They cannot, most of the people do not get a job immediately. They have to do some other job. So please do mention any role that you're currently doing. Once you get your first job, you can always take it out.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, let's move on to the next person. Free minded, sorry. Free minded, do you have any question?
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir. Or sir, ma'am,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yes.
No, no. This is I'm a guy.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Sorry. I don't know how my voice is coming across. Okay. Sorry. So is this exclusive? Is this club exclusively for Canada?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm actually in the US, so I'm also looking for jobs, but I'm
Yeah,
already
this
in a job, so
is.
I was just
No, we
okay.
we mostly it's in Canada. Yep.
Okay.
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 Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
No worries. Hey, Dana.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
So I'll give you my introduction. Like it's been a year now. I'm in Canada and I'm in PR. And as you guys were discussing that the first job is important, so I also feel that I'm lucky enough to got a first opportunity. But then yes, it's been 8 months now, but then the problem is that I didn't got the thing which I wanted. It was like I worked in India. I had like a 16 year of banking experience in BFSI, and I worked as a product manager come product owner. So there was a slight difference, like it is sometime it I can say it's a product owner role, but then sometime it's as well as a product manager role. But then when I landed here, I applied in many of the similar type of opportunity, because in my experience was a overlapping experience. So then I landed with I'm managing right now a regulatory projects, but from a business process consultant point of view in Bank of Montreal. So it's a contractual position, but then this was just a start. I wanted to go back to my original thing. So I just wanted like to know, understand with you guys that whether is it possible that if you took something as a first come or a first thing as a survival point of view, I took that job, is it a mistake or is it something which is fine? I can go and transfer my skill with the experience which I already have. So just I need your like.
Sajid, yeah, got it. Sajid, you want to answer that?
Yeah. So Dana, so that's what is said. Right? The first job, whatever job you get, that is just for you to understand as the Canadian culture and work environment is. Now, when you're applying, you can apply, you can put your this experience, and again, it's in the banking contract or not contract, whatever it may be. Put that experience, and if you're applying for any of the jobs like a product manager or a product owner kind of role. Now, product owner, I don't know. I need to see your resume to understand whether you have that requirement. What Canada looks for a product owner, it will be highly technical when they look at a product owner. So I need to look at that. But if you have the skill set, I would say go ahead, and you have, let's say, 8 months or 1 year of background in banking. Go ahead and start applying for a product owner or a product manager role. And if you click the interview, then that's it. You get it. Could also be contract or full time, but I would say go ahead.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that's
I want to add that
yeah.
I was an agile consultant, but I started as a QA consultant here. Then I moved into process engineering. Then I worked as a data analyst. Then I moved into again as a scrum master, then agile consultant. So yes, it is feasible here, and it is very easy when you are in a job. When you are in a job, doing career switch is very easy. If you have a mentor, it will boost like 500 percentage. But
Yeah,
other than that, there
looking
is
for,
nothing wrong.
because yes, as Sajid said that uh, I'm more on a functional part. Like that's the reason I told that like I'm a product manager. It's a thin line. Like I even like when I read the role description of product owner, so I feel okay, this is similar to what I was doing. But then yes, if it is more on a IT side, if it's more technical, then yes, I don't have that experience. So yes, but then sometime it matches with the profile if I see some of the role, but sometimes it is like it's just a 75% match. So but
Anna,
still,
I'll tell you a simple tip.
yeah.
Take 5 to 10 target companies, connect with the product owners of those companies, and don't ask them for a job. Don't ask it. Just get introduced to them and ask them time, and tell them that you have this experience. What all skills you need to gain to become a product manager? You ask them that. They will tell you, or they will be able to highlight certain nuances in your profile, that changes that you have to make, and those changes once you do it, and also once you get introduced yourself, you can also speak about your past role. If they refer you, that is the easiest and best way. Like Subi said, if you have a mentor within the company, or if you have someone referring you, that is the easiest way to for you to get it.
Yes, and this is where I wanted to add the next point. Uh, I mean, it is always better to have a mentor. So, a lot of us with 5 years of experience, after 5 years of experience, We think that mentor is not required. Okay, we know everything, and job search is just simply applying with a resume and get hired, and that's it. We don't need a mentor. You wouldn't believe I have four professional mentors. Okay, because it's not like going and asking like okay, can you be my mentor? No, I follow them, I listen to them, I understand what these guys are saying, and I'll try to do what they say. And whenever I make some mistake, they'll try to fix it. And I also learned this the hard way. Having mentor boost your profile, boost your career, eases your thing, eases your troubles and everything, when you are trying to build your career in one place. I learned this the hard way, but yes, having a mentor always helped me. That is one of the reasons why we say always have a mentor who can try to help you. A lot of people, what they do is after getting the job, they'll just say goodbye and they'll just move on. But those who keep that relationship live, right, they will get like a very good returns when they in long term. Nobody thinks about it. Everyone thinks that mentoring is until job search, but after the job, after securing the job, when you are trying to build your profile or build your career, build your name in this Canadian industry, at that time mentor can easily help you. He can easily introduce you to a lot of people. He can introduce you to big forums. He can introduce you to different hiring managers, and he can also help you understand which area you have to focus on. This is one of the most important thing you everyone keep it in mind. Having a mentor actually will help a lot in your career. Okay.
I second that. I have two. One is an agile coach. So she is one of my mentor. The other mentor is younger than me, but so being in the HR space, but still she has a wider experience than what I have, and she's my mentor. So that especially when you are stuck in negotiation or how to once you get a job and you need to scale up, right? You need some guidance. So it definitely helps.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, sure. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so next thing I wanted to add before moving to the next Q&A, next thing I wanted to add is a lot of people doesn't utilize the LinkedIn for their job search. They search the job using LinkedIn, but they have worse profile in LinkedIn. Unfortunately, it's a fact. They click interested. So I saw a profile today. They are looking for a data analyst. This guy is a business analyst. He has put in his entire profile says business analyst or whatever it is. He has clicked on interested. So when he clicks on the interested, his profile is BA and the other might be data analyst or something different. That itself is a mismatch. And there is another person who has have nothing in LinkedIn but have mentioned interested in one of the job posts. Guys, try to understand. In Canada, LinkedIn is a must. LinkedIn, uh, last time we did the survey, 47 percentage of the folks said they got through LinkedIn. 27 percentage of the folks said they got through referral. It means that almost 75 out, which means 3 by 4th of the roles went through LinkedIn and referrals. The remaining 25 percentage went through the career website, consulting firms and all. So 50 percentage, one out of two jobs is going through LinkedIn. You have to have a wonderful LinkedIn profile. There is no doubt about it. You have to have a very good social profile either in LinkedIn, or like Sajid said, build a profile in GitHub, or maybe Tableau. If you are a data analyst, build something in Tableau. If you are Atlassian or a Jira Scrum Master expert, build your profile in Atlassian. Put this in your build a profile or a build a website. If you are a developer, front end developer, build a website and put this in your resume and make your profile impressive. Use your social media thing. Just do not copy paste the things in your resume and think expect that you will get the job, because that is what 90 percentage of the people do. Okay, so do build a very good social profile, especially in LinkedIn, and try to boost your profile. So do you want to add something on the that?
So that is part of networking, right? And also, so this I've told it in a lot of other sessions. Look at hiring managers, look at your seniors to network. Recruiters should be the last people whom you should add in your network. The reason being simple things. Now, let's say you're looking at a bank. You have 5 target companies, and you're aiming for a like what. I think Dana said, right? You want to get into a product owner or a product manager. Now, if I was building my strategy, I would connect to all product owners and product managers and listen to what they are sharing on. Let's say they say share, one person is sharing about a new project that they got on LinkedIn. New project means they need new people. Then you know that is the right time for you to approach them, right? So I would connect with those people that rather than connecting with recruiters. Recruiters is they already in the sense, if I am need to hire for something, I will definitely do all the publicity, marketing, and everything. You will all be aware of it. Now, the best thing is to understand when you say hidden job market and all those things, how to get into that job search without going through what 95% of the people are doing. And for that, you need to connect and you need to get inside information. And to get that inside information, you need to connect with the hiring managers, not recruiters. I'm a recruiter, but I'm telling you, your recruiter should be the last person you should connect to. You should connect with peers, and definitely peers also, right? The reason why peers are important is, now let's say you want to know something about a salary. You're going for an important interview. You want to know what is a salary benchmark, or how you should negotiate for that in a particular company, right? Your peers will be able to give you the best answers for some situations rather than recruiters. So first your hiring managers, second is peers, and third is recruiters. That is my strategy that I'll use.
Yeah, and while connecting, there is one more thing. Okay, there is one more thing which I wanted to tell. When you try to connect a stranger, do not expect that stranger to know you. Okay, I get lot of messages, hundreds of messages. Out of these hundreds of messages, I don't respond to few messages. The reason being, this guy will just say, will just send his number as a contact card. Okay, what am I expected to do? To add him in the group or anything? Or he will say, I'm looking for a job. Okay, so what should I do? The message itself is not clear. Okay, do not do that mistake. Always try to put a brief message. The message needs to be clear. Do not expect the other person. It's not a WhatsApp chat with your old friend, right? Do not expect the other person to know you. So always write a brief message about yourself when you are trying to introduce, when you are trying to reach out for the first time for a first person, with a person. Try to introduce yourself. Do not simply throw your frustration, and of course give it some time, because this person might be reading the messages in the mobile and he'll think that okay, I'll respond it in the evening. So give it some time. Do not simply say hi or how are you. Do not just do it. Just write a brief message. I have put the template of that message a few days back in our WhatsApp groups, so you can go back and check in our WhatsApp group about that template. I have clearly mentioned what you have to write when you are trying to reach out to a person. Now, second thing, just related to what Sajid said, when you are connecting with the peers, uh, of course, to ask for the salary or to check how the company work culture is, try to build a rapport between you and the next person. Do not simply bombard with a question. You are in Canada. Imagine a person from India. He just pings you and he started asking about Canada. How big is Canada? Or how is the work culture in Canada? Work life balance in Canada? How is the weather in Canada? You will think that why should I answer all these things, right? Rather than that, instead, what you can do is you have to build that rapport by first introducing yourself and say that, see, I am looking into these things, and this is, do not ask for job for with a stranger, because he might not have a job and he will not respond it, because do not make his answer difficult. Okay, so try to build a rapport, try to build a connection between that person, and keep in touch. There are a lot of people who had reached out to me for scrum master opportunities, and unfortunately I might have forgotten that, because I get a lot of messages on a day, right? But if anybody have was in touch with me, right, the moment recruiter reach out to me saying that, Sudhir, I have a scrum master opportunity, give me a best resume, At that time what I can do is I can say that okay, this guy is good, go. Okay, so always keep in touch with them and do not leave the connection after getting the job. That is much more important. In Canada you will get fired anytime with just 2 weeks of notice. There is nothing called as job security. So anytime you will get fired, so never lose your connection. I'll give you one example. Last month what happened, one guy got a job. He didn't even bother to inform the mentor. So mentor was just following up with that guy saying that okay, how did the interview go? Oh yeah, interview was fine, I joined last week. The mentor was shocked, and this mentor called me because I introduced this guy to the mentor. Okay, so mentor was literally shocked, and he said that how unprofessional he is. This mentor helped him with like all the interviews and everything. Around 4 to 5 hours he spent with the mentor, and he didn't even bother to let the mentor know. And this guy didn't even bother to tell me. So what happens is this creates a bad impression about that candidate, and next time when you get into these kinds of trouble, right, they will hesitate to help. So always have a good rapport with them. Always let them know when you get a job, or at least thank for the service. That will actually try to build your rapport with that mentor. Sajid, if you want to add something, feel free.
Nothing on that. We can go to the
Okay,
next
yeah,
question.
okay, let's move on to Cinda.
Hi Sudhi and Sajid. Thanks for organizing this type of events. It's very helpful. One thing I want to ask is, as Sudhi told, we need to describe our role in our resumes for particular jobs. So while we are moving through some consulting firms, it won't be possible, right?
Why?
Because we were already sharing our profile with this consulting firm, and they will be contacting us if they found any matching job, right?
Yeah, yeah, but again, see, I'm not saying that okay, one day you apply as a business analyst, next day you apply as a scrum master. No, what I'm saying is when you are applying as a scrum master, there is a chance that the new job might have a post as agile project manager. Okay, so the resume will remain the same. There will be small tweaks here and there. And second thing is when they try to reach out to you for a one specific job, get the job, they will
Hmm.
definitely send you the job description, and they will give you
Yeah.
time to modify your resume and send it to them, because they have to sell this resume to their account manager and the client, right? So they will work with you
Okay.
to
Okay.
modify your resume to match the job description. And I'm not saying that you have to add fake experience, you have to completely change the resume. No, there are small tweaks which is required when you are trying to apply for job A versus job B. That's all what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the resume will change completely. It is just small
Oh,
tweaks which is required.
okay. And which one is more preferable, like going through any consulting firm or through referral or career sites? If
Sajid, you
we
want to answer that?
First choice is referral. Agency, if it is contract, agencies have a larger reach if it is contract roles. Application, if your skill set is a very niche role, then apply, and your profile is really, resume is really good, then apply. Applying also, if the application, if the role has more than 200 250 applications, I would hesitate in applying, because see, when you sometimes when you apply, you need to also put in the information and all those things. 250 plus of resumes in a one role, most probably they have identified who the person is also, right? So I wouldn't go and still continue. See, the problem is, if since there are enough people who are applying, people are relying on the post applications. Otherwise, if your profile is there in the database, they will search in the database first, and then they'll search in the applications. But right now, any role that comes up, there are so many applications, so you need to apply for roles where there's a high chance for you to get, right? So I would say first is your reference. Second would be, if it is contract, then definitely agencies. The agencies also have full-time roles, I'm not saying, but if you are looking at contracts, agencies are the best place to go, because they will highlight your profile like anything. if it is contract roles. And applications, be sure you apply, you don't just see, constantly applying for all the roles, like what Sudhi said, without those small tweaks, it's like throwing a dart and wishing that one of them sticks. Just build a strategy as to what are the roles that you are applying for. Anything less than 200 applications is only what I will apply for. Make that decision and see whether, so don't exhaust yourself and just keep on applying and then thinking that what is wrong happening, right? Instead of that, just
Yep,
build a strategy.
absolutely.
O-
Build a strategy or two for a job search. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And I see few questions related to T4 versus contract or full time versus contract. We already had a session for contracting. Actually, we had two sessions on that contracting. Go and check our YouTube URL. We have clearly explained what is the difference between FT versus T4 versus incorporation, and from even from the tax perspective we have clearly mentioned how the taxes are different from incorporation versus FTE. So please go and visit that our YouTube previous channels, sorry, previous videos. You will get a clear idea on that. Okay, because it's a large topic. We don't want to discuss that today, but we already have discussed, and all the information is available in YouTube. So well, let's move on to Gaurav.
Hi, Sudhir and Sajid. Thanks for conducting this. Um, since you mentioned contract now, I had a similar question, but a little bit off track. So, I'm right now on work permit in Canada. Recently moved here as a new immigrant. My question is, if I take up a contracting role, will that job be eligible for me getting points on my PR application?
Okay, you have to go and watch our chat with immigration consultant, because me and
Okay.
Sajid are not professional immigration consultant. We cannot advise on that. But we had I had invited a immigration consultant last week,
Okay.
and that recording is available. He has answered this question.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, One offshoot question, that if I have a contracting role and if I get a full time opportunity while working on that role, is it easy to break that contract to opt for full time, or is it
Yes, it's easy. Just 2 weeks.
2 weeks, no,
okay?
anywhere. Contract and full time is only 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that is what Sudhi said. There's no job security. Even if you're a full time role, you are out within 2 weeks. If you're a contract also, it is you're out within 2 weeks. That's it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No worries. Let's move on to Javen.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. And I was listening since the beginning, like when Mr. Sajid was saying how to optimize the resume, how to get rid of the photograph and objective so that it is more catchy. So, I'm sorry. So, that's why I actually started to listen to this conversation. And let me tell about myself. I'm a experienced software engineer, and right now I'm on PGWP. Like I did a 2 year AI program. So I was searching for jobs since April, but I'm not getting any interview calls. So I tried optimizing the resume, used ChatGPT, everything, but somehow I'm not getting. I understand like the market is like dull, so there is no much recruiting happening. But still, I personally think there is something that has to be done. So I'm actually right now looking to data analyst roles like that. I'm experienced in Python, and yeah, that's about.
Sajid will answer, but before that, one question. Do you have a kind of a Tableau public dashboard or Power BI public dashboard?
Yeah, I was actually listening to that as well. I have a GitHub profile where I
Do you have
submit
a
my
Tableau public profile?
no, I
Why?
actually,
Simple,
yeah,
simple question. Why?
right.
I am not a data analyst. I still have it. So,
Okay,
okay. So
yeah,
why didn't you have it? That's a step one as a data analyst you should be doing.
okay,
Okay, that itself is missing. See, people. There was one guy. Okay, who just cleared the college from here. I asked him to do it, and he just did it. He got into kind of a co-op opportunity in Bombardier. Okay, he just showcased that data analyst profile with all these public dashboards or Tableau dashboards what he developed. Simple, right?
Okay.
For you,
So,
that is
yeah,
that is the step one you have to do. You miss the step one. There is no use of optimizing your profile until
okay,
you have a Tableau public dashboard. And of course, yeah, GitHub helps, but what I'm saying is,
sure.
just go and visit my Tableau public dashboard. I have
So
created 7
just to add,
dashboards. Yeah.
okay, sure, thank you. So one more thing to add, like nowadays when I look into social media and stuff like that, it's greatly advised to like go for certifications. While some people say it's like no use to go behind certification. So I personally didn't do anything because I already studied like in the college year. So I know it's not going to make big difference. But
I'll tell
uh,
you a better solution than certification, Jalvin. You go to there are a lot of free APIs, right? So
right,
you take any API. So I'll tell you, there's a people project API, right? You Google people project. It has, I think, close to 3 million data points or something is there.
okay,
There's a free version, there's a paid version. Anything, or you take any free API that is there, you do a project on your own. You can do any kind of analysis within that API, right? You can even download the Twitter API and you can do a lot of analysis on that. You
right.
do it, and what so they said, have your Tableau point and do that is much more valuable than a certification.
Right. Actually, I don't know if it's valuable here, but I tried to do a project using integrating ChatGPT and the Amazon Poly, so that it's like a voice to text. So because I did something on the AI course what I did, but I don't think that AI data science roles are not getting promoted these days. So that's why I'm looking to.
Waterloo has a incubator division. I will try sharing it within the group. Waterloo
Sure.
has a incubator division where they all these startups they post these kind of jobs. You should target. I think you're
Okay.
targeting different this thing. So what Sudhi said, right? Look at the fundamentals first,
Okay.
because see when we look at when I look at people in UX UI design, I don't ask them where is their LinkedIn profile, right? I ask them where is their Behance profile, because that is where they show their portfolio and their peers. They are marked by the peers under. So each of those specific roles, you need to have some specific presence there, right? So like Sudhi said, have your Tableau thing, put it there, and I'll share it within the group. So those are startups which look at some specific skills. You just
Okay.
need to highlight that you have those skills, right? That's what you need to do.
Yeah, while doing that, there is a funny thing. That person is right now in this group. That person created a personal portfolio and shared it with me. Within 3 minutes, I found out three spelling mistakes. In the front page itself, there is three spelling mistakes. Okay. And I just took a snapshot and sent it to that person. That person is listening now. And I sent it to that person and said that candidate rejected. Okay,
Oh,
built a portfolio and the three simple spelling mistake in the front page itself. So not only the portfolio matters, the quality of the portfolio also matters. When you build it per Tableau dashboard, the quality of the data, the look of the dashboard, the reports, everything matters. It's not like, okay, I have a portfolio, I didn't get the job. No, the quality also matters.
so, sir, actually, according to current market, is it Tableau or Power BI which is in more demand?
Both.
Okay,
Okay,
And it
okay,
doesn't actually matter also,
correct.
because
right,
it's not whether. So a lot of people ask me whether I see hiring. I'll tell you one simple thing. What hiring managers have told me, they never look at whether you are an Azure, GCP, or AWS certified. Right? They look at whether you have cloud technologies, and also how soon you can scale up. Now, if you understand the fundamentals, if you can solve the problem for them, some people are willing to give you that chance where you can scale up quickly. The only thing is, can you learn quickly? Do you showcase that in your resume, or mostly in your conversation? Do you do that? That is the most important thing. Then they are fine with all the other things, right? So don't be worried about see, because I understand where you're going to. You want to know what is most popular, and then you want to showcase that you're good at that. That's not the strategy that you have to take.
Absolutely.
okay. I think,
Okay.
yeah, that is what
Yeah.
I'm missing. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No worries.
I'm also like actively following the WhatsApp group as well. It's like very helpful. So
No
thank you.
worries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's helping everyone. Okay. It's just it's objective is to help everyone, right? Great.
Right.
Okay. Let's move on to Amrita.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Sajid and Sudeep. Thanks for the opportunity to talking.
Yeah, let's
I
make it
have,
quick, okay? Yeah, let's
yeah,
make
yeah,
it quick.
sure. So, my query is actually I have joined some course here. I have 6 years of experience as a QA in India. So now I want to explore myself into automation, right? So I have joined one course here, and actually till October I have to just finish this course. But now the thing is that my training institute saying is that like you don't apply now for manual testing jobs till October. So now I have a little bit confusion here because they are saying like if they will just a background check will happen, then that time it will be a misunderstanding because of your resume. So here I have a confusion. Do I need to apply right now for manual testing job, or do I really need to stop myself till October?
You are paying them, right?
Yeah.
You are paying them, and then why do you ask us the question? Because they are
Mm,
there to help. You are paying them for the service, right?
mhm.
So now you are coming back here. It shows that you don't trust them,
No, no,
right?
means I am learning actually Selenium learning. So it's the class, but means I have confusion. I need to apply on LinkedIn or various career website or not. That's my confusion for
Okay.
manual testing job because they are saying for automation, right?
Yeah, Sajid, you wanna
So
take it?
I'm still confused actually, but let me understand this clearly. So you're saying that
Hmm.
Selenium, you're doing Selenium, and they are asking you to apply for manual testing job and not
Yeah.
Selenium jobs.
So Sajid, no. Sajid, what happens is the course will get completed in October. So right now, if she starts applying as a manual tester, and from October she starts applying as a automation tester, right?
Yeah.
These
Mm-hmm.
consulting firms or the recruiters will look into it and they'll say that it's a fake resume from
Okay,
October
okay,
onwards. So that's
okay.
why they are asking to hold off.
Not to apply only after October. That
That's
makes
correct.
sense.
Yeah, it
That
makes sense.
definitely makes sense to wait until that time. But one another thing, are you on? You said you are on PR, right?
No, no, I'm on open work permit.
You have got your open work permit right now.
Yeah, I have with me.
Okay, so I think it's
Hmm.
better to go with what they are suggesting as to see. Then it doesn't make sense, right? If you're applying for manual now, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay, the challenge is manual jobs are very less. I would prefer that you apply for automation testing jobs as soon as you get the accreditation and apply for that. Possibility of
Mm-hmm.
getting a job is much higher.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, let's move to Harsha. And before that, tomorrow we have a session on PNG. In case any one of your friends or anyone is looking for PNG, please feel free to forward the invite to them. Okay, and let's move on to Harsha. Harsha,
Hi, Sudhir and Sajid. I wanted to ask, like, I'm a student now and I'll be completing my studies next month only, but I have started applying to jobs. So my question was like, how much time should I spend? I heard you were replying to a person that you said like when a recruiter contacts us and they will give us job description, they will give us some time to make some tweaks in our resume and give them. So, like, what is the best time to make them wait? Like, should
no,
we
no, it
reply
is
them?
just couple of hours. That's it,
Okay.
because they
And
have to submit. Yeah.
one more question, like when we apply for different jobs and when I apply, like update my resume each time. So like what is the
No,
time
but
that I
before that, do you have PGWP yet?
no, I'm like I'll be next month I'll be applying for it.
Yeah, so then first 5 minutes, you miss the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Without PGWP, how will they hire you? Tell me that.
No, I actually right now I'm trying to like get into interview and know how the pace is going on because I
That's exactly I'm asking you. Why will they give the interview to you when you don't even have a PGWP?
but the first step they are not asking for the like the document, right?
Your profile says that your resume will say that you are completing the course next month, right?
Okay.
You got what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
Everybody
actually
will know that you are on student visa, right?
That's right.
Uh, and also most recruiters will ask you what is your visa status, right?
okay, okay. No,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So like when next month also, like when I'm applying, so like what is the time I should spend on like each resume? Like if you say okay, if I spend 30 minutes or 1 hour, that's too much. Or you should not spend that much for applying for a single company like that? Is there something like
No,
an
no.
app?
No.
What Sudhi said was, now let's say I'm a recruiter and I approach you, and let's say you have a QA profile, right? Now, in my job description, I'm saying telling you I'm looking at a test engineer candidate, right? Now I'm sending that to you. You need to change those titles according to what I am looking for, so that when I'm sharing it with my hiring manager, he is not confused as to what is your actual role. Because if your content and your title doesn't exactly match, or it's not matching to what I'm looking for, I'm saying among the number of applications, then yours is one when you're using an ATS itself, right? So the
Mhm.
probability of me seeing your profile also is very less. So what Sudhi is saying, take that time before, don't just blindly send your resume.
Okay.
Take time to review that JD, see what are the key skills that they're looking at. When we say modifying a resume, we are not asking you to
Yeah.
modify things that you don't know, but
Yeah.
in, let's say there are certain words that they are using in that JD, and you have done that, right? So
Yeah.
modify it according to the words that they are using. So what happens then is, when it's sending it through the ATS system,
Mm.
it crosses that 75% requirement that most ATS have, right? So, and then the recruiter will see your profile. So that is what we are suggesting.
Okay. No, I was asking like how much time we should spend on each application. Like um um
Yeah, that's exactly what Sajid said. It depends. It,
okay.
okay, you cannot see a project manager might spend 1 hour because
Okay.
his contract rate might be $100. So
Okay.
he would spend 1 hour or 2 hours in a resume,
Okay.
because if he gets $100 means it's what now 180K per year, right?
Yeah.
So he he would, it would make sense for him to spend 1 or 2 hours on the
Okay.
resume.
Okay.
I spend much more than that, not because of the salary, because the resume I review and review and review, and I
Yeah.
send it to my mentor, get feedback from him. So yes, there is a 3 to 4 level of resume review which happens with the mentor before I
Okay.
submit.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
submit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. No, I was
Yeah.
asking this because I don't want to lose track and like spend too much or too less time on a particular company only because when I start applying um that way.
Yeah. I mean, there's no specific time for that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Javin, just check the chat. I have put the link of the Waterloo community where you can apply.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. We'll take the next question, Normal. I think Sajid, we can wind up after this question, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Nirmal and Janet is there. After both of them, we can wait.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Hi, Normal.
Can I go ahead?
No, sorry. Normal.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Actually, I'm a QA. I'm basically a QA. I had around 3.8 years of experience, but after that, I got a huge career gap of around 8 years. So, what is the best option for me to get back into like IT?
Make Sudhi your mentor. That is the best option.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have helped more than 30 plus or 20 plus uh, ladies who came back from their career break to get back into the
Okay.
industry, and I have clearly written each step what they have to do at each
Uh,
thing, and it takes like 60 days. 60 days, within 2 months they will I mean, within 60 days we target it for 60 days. Yeah, and most of the time they get job within 60 days. Okay, so
Okay. All
I'll
right.
just briefly tell 6 steps or 7 steps in very quickly. Okay, first thing
Okay.
is do your research, find your dream companies, or make a list of 5 companies and understand what is happening there. Do your research on those 5 companies, the role which you want to get into. The step number 2 is do your preparation. Lot of people just keep their resume ready and go for interview, oh sorry, try to apply, and when they get interview they will lose interview because they are not prepared, and they have not even thought of preparing. Okay, they just have resume, and when they get interview they get panic mode, and they miss the interview. The third one is
Mm,
upgrading the skill. 8 years is a
okay.
big gap. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
happened before 8 years is mostly out of the market now. You are QA, you might have
Yeah.
used HPALM. Right now, HPALM is nowhere in the market.
Mm,
Understand what is currently happening in the market, what is the latest QA tool, what is the latest test management tools, what are the latest automation tools. Upgrade your skill to match what is currently in the market. Fourth one is getting a mentor. You need to have a mentor, or else you will
Yeah, yeah.
simply keep on applying those jobs. As we said in the beginning, 1800 or 2000 QAs are currently available in the market. Step number 5, focused job search. Lot of people, what they do is they will not do focus job search. They'll check for manual QA, they will check for functional QA, everything. Okay, but you have to build one focus area where you can say that, yeah, I'm a capital markets QA, or I'm a banking QA with banking experience, QA with performance testing experience, QA with AODA experience. Focused job search is mandatory when you are trying to apply for jobs, especially QA, BA, Scrum Master, because the number of applicants is too high for these roles. Now the sixth one is interview preparation. Lot of people don't prepare for the interview. They start preparing for the interview when they get the interview call, and it will be just less than 24 hours. That is too late to prepare for the interview. You have to start preparing for the interview the day one you start looking for the job. It is very important. And the seventh one is showcase your skill. After 8 years, if you try to showcase your skill, you will understand what is currently happening in the market, or you can show something to the hiring manager. One example is one person did evaluation of 30 plus QA tools and wrote a document about it and put that link in the resume. And when the hiring manager asked, why did you do this? This lady said that I wanted to get back into the industry. So I tried to evaluate all these 34 tools, and these are my observation. I am not saying that I learned it, but these are my observation for the 34 tools in QA. Maybe it is just like Jira or test management, Trello, whatever it is, but there was 34 tools which was written in a Excel spreadsheet and uploaded in Google Drive, and that was the turning point. Okay, so showcase your skill, do not hesitate, showcase your skill. These are the 7 steps you have to follow to get a job in 2 months. And the most important thing is how many hours you are spending per day for upgrading your skills or preparation. I would say you are spending maybe 1 or 2 hours searching for the job. My recommendation, spend 8 hours upgrading your skill for the first 1 month. Second 1 month, 2 hours for job search, 6 hours for upgrading your skill. Within the 2 months, you will literally learn everything about what is happening in the current market and try to apply for the job. It is tedious, yes, and you will get the job in 2 months.
Okay, thank
Guarantee.
you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And can I ask you one more thing?
Yes, please. Quick.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first time I'm listening to this group. I don't have any experience with Clubhouse or this kind of platforms. So initially told me you introduced a YouTube channel over here.
Yep.
So can I get the link of that YouTube channel?
Sure. Just ping me here. I'll send you the YouTube.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Janet. Last question.
Yes. So, how, how like, yeah, okay, I'm completing my certification in data analytics, and how, like, most jobs when that they are there for entry level, uh, I've seen, like, how do I position myself as a fresh starter?
For data
Like,
analytics.
yeah.
Okay. So, Sajid, I'll take this. Okay. So for data analytics, what you
Uh-huh.
have to do is you have to do 3 or 4 steps, which I'll just mention. First thing is understand what is currently required in the market. Go
Uh-huh.
through just 3 or 4 job search, job descriptions, and understand what are the skill set which is required for data analytics. A lot of people think that okay, it is just the Tableau or Power BI which is
Yeah.
required, but
Yeah.
on top of that there are additional tools which will be mentioned to clean up the
Yeah.
data. One example is Power Query. Excel has Power Query. A lot of people are unaware about it. A lot of data analysts doesn't even know what is Power Query. So Power
Yeah.
Query is something to clean up the data. So go through the job description and understand what are the skill set which is required
Yeah.
for data analytics job. Second
Yeah.
thing is start building your profile using public Tableau or public Power BI. It is free actually. Okay, there you
Yes.
don't even have to
I
spend any
opened
money.
an account already with
That's
Yeah.
right. So you
Yeah.
build a wonderful, impressive Tableau dashboard, put it
Mm-hmm.
in your resume. That is one of the most thing, and update your LinkedIn with that link, because this is very
Okay.
very important. Because
Mm,
the
mm,
moment hiring manager sees two profiles, one with a Tableau dashboard and one without the Tableau dashboard,
mm.
definitely the hiring manager will go for the one with the Tableau dashboard. So for all the data analysts who reaches out to me, I ask them the first question: do you have a public dashboard in Tableau or Power BI? This is the
Okay.
second thing what you have to do. The third thing what you have to do is learn scripting, either in Python or VBA or something. VBA is outdated, but yeah, you need to learn scripting because data cleanup needs to be automated. You
Mm-hmm.
have to showcase this to your hiring manager when you
Mm-hmm.
try that. Okay, I'm not going to do the cleanup manually, it is automated. Might
Mm-hmm.
be in Excel or might be using Python or might be using Java, whatever it is.
Mm.
You need to automate it. So you need to have basics of scripting experience or coding experience, I would say, to get the job. You do these three things, this will boost your profile by 80 percentage. Okay, then the fourth
Okay.
thing is start publishing your dashboards in LinkedIn. This will actually boost your profile, uh, like I would say what,
But how do
400
you do
percentage.
that?
Yeah, public dashboard and just put it in LinkedIn. Simple. We all do that. You can go to my LinkedIn and check how I have published my LinkedIn dashboard. I have created a dashboard for Canada immigration and I have published it in public Tableau, and then I have put that link and I have written my
Mm-hmm.
notes in LinkedIn and I have published it. So it is helping new immigrants understand the trend of Canada immigration. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, you can do that. You get hundreds of thousands of data sets free, and you can utilize that data and build some meaningful dashboard. Build your resume in Tableau. I have built it. I have my resume in Tableau. So build those things, and it will actually boost your profile. Okay,
Okay.
that is the best way. If you do these three steps, you would be the top 10 percentage of the data analyst who is looking for the job, or else you are the in the bottom 90 percentage, because that is what 90 percentage of the candidates don't do. Okay, Janet, so in case you
Mm.
need some other information, feel free to check my LinkedIn. We usually post everything about the job search and all.
Okay.
Okay, okay, then Sajid, I think we can wind up, right?
Yep.
Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully, this was helpful. We have recorded this in YouTube in case you missed the initial part of the session. Feel free to watch out for our YouTube recording, and we have the recording for the previous sessions also. In case you are interested, feel free to watch it. Okay, and we have a session tomorrow in LinkedIn. Please join in case you feel that it is useful for you. Thanks again. Thanks everyone. Have a good night. Talk to you
Good
in our
night,
next session.
everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.